Take a breath, hold it tight, trace the memory in every
All right, hey, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get right to it this morning, or I'm sorry, this evening. And thank you so much for joining me. As always, you know I love you all and absolutely appreciate you so much. This is a show that I've been looking forward to for some time, and we've been touching on it for a while now, but now we're going to hit it a little bit harder, and that is the universal laws of energy, which is absolutely what I live by. So it is within these laws that we truly can find how things are working around us, why things are happening the way that they are. It is a lack of understanding of these laws that can cause confusion and cause a misunderstanding of why things are happening and and why things are happening. So why they aren't and why they are. And we'll start to dive right into it. I'm being a little, and I'm not gonna say quick because I definitely don't want to rush this topic. It's so big and such a huge, important aspect of all of this, of ascension, really, because it's through these laws. Yeah, like I said, that we learn so much, and we've really tapped into it on a number of different levels in a number of different podcasts. But now we're going to start to discuss them individually and how each one of them kind of plays into our lives. Because I was shown this week some crazy eye opening understandings on why I kept getting hit with these energies over and over again and not quite fully understanding why. And they really opened up my eyes this week using these laws to really help me understand what the heck is happening, why it keeps happening, and understand and helping me realize that it's me. It's I am I am why this is happening. In and it's my own actions. It's my own inconsistencies. It's my own judgments that are causing other people to judge me. And yeah, so anyway, we'll get right down into it and I'll elaborate on that story shortly here, but I want to start this off. So there are now, I live my life according to these universal laws. And as far as I'm aware, there are 12. To be honest with you, there are so many different aspects of these laws that you can look up. So I go by 12. Someone else might have 24. And then there are these other ones that yeah, it's so vast out there. It's like these are the 12 that I live by. These are the 12 that they communicate to me about. So, I'm just going off of what the communication that I get, what they talk to me about, and no other. So you may get your own laws, although I won't say get your own laws. They're all kind of they're all connected. No matter, in my opinion, you're whatever law you kind of go off of, it might have a different name or maybe a subtle difference in its meaning, but really they're all connected in some way, shape, or form. These are just the 12 that I go off of. I've seen other ones out there, but I don't get any communication in reference to them, so they're not ones that I touch. These are the 12 that I get it on. I'll get communication on. Anyway, let's go. Number 1, the law of divine oneness. We have spoken about this one so much, and it's a big one because we are all one. You, me, everyone. The people that hurt us are part of us. We are them, they are us. We're not perfect individuals. So if you have someone like I do, many people that judge me, and now I'm not someone that judges people very much, but I won't say that I'm perfect either. I absolutely do have judgments, but I have realized that it is those aspects of me, those occasional judgments that I might cast upon somebody that are revered mirrored back to me at times. And that's such an important understanding that we should really begin to sit with, is that there are aspects of you, right? These might not be large aspects of you, but small. And it doesn't matter. It is an aspect of you. It's still part of those layers that we discussed before that have to be shed. And until we shed it fully, right? It can't be a half thing. You have to completely shed it, completely learn the lesson that is meant to be learned. So if you're judging somebody even slightly, then that's an aspect of you that is still requires healing, right? And therefore the divine oneness is going to at some point show you that again. It's going to show you how you judge people by putting that back at you, because, and we'll get into the other laws, but we are all one. So you are no different than the next person, and I don't care what next person is sitting next to you. I don't care how bad you think that next person is or how good that next person is. You are one, and you are capable of living either a great life or one that you think is even low vibrational. It doesn't matter. We're all one. There's no difference between you and me. We're all energy, and we all carry God in us. These are truths that I live by and that I get the communication about. So we all carry God with us. It's just like your parents. You know, your parents gave birth to you and you carry their DNA with you. Well, likewise, so did God. And we all carry God's DNA in us as well. And we can all aspire to be like God or godly, and or in the human form like Jesus. But I'm not, I don't want to get into that religious aspect of things. But anyway, yeah, so that's something to be aware of. And excuse me, again with the throat thing. But the second law, universal law of energy, is the law of vibration. This is another thing that we have discussed before. Everything is energy. Everything. So we have the first law of divine oneness. Second is, which we are all one with God, godly, Jesus, we're all one. We carry them inside of us, inside of our heart chakra. So open that heart chakra up. Second, the law of vibration. Everything is energy. Everything is constantly moving, which is the law of vibration. According to the law of vibration, every particle in the universe is a constant moving and constantly carries energy. So, excuse me, just like you and your energy, so does the chair, so does the bed, so does your car, so does your computer, so does whatever you touch, the trees, the grass, the ground, the dirt, the water, it's all vibrating on a level, on a frequency that, maybe we just don't hear or see with our own eyes, but it's moving. There are aspects of everything that is around us that are moving. So when you begin to understand that everything is moving and that everything has energy, and we are all one, okay, so you start to put this all together. Okay, so we're all together because we're all one, because we're all energy, and everything has energy. So that starts, you see the table starting to be set here with these universal laws. Okay, so we're all innerly connected. And just like I was saying about Jesus, how he is the human aspect of what we all aspire to be like. Buddha shows us in the law of vibration that we are all connected via energy, whether it be through the law of divine oneness or just the fact that we are energy. We're all vibrating on a different level. That those two are pretty, I feel, are pretty self-explanatory. Number 3, on the other hand, is a little bit different. It's the law of correspondence, which basically says that our current reality is a mirror of what is going on inside of us. Our reality is a result of our innermost dominant thought. So if your life is filled with unhappiness, chaos, or just straight up unfulfilling, it's because of how we are feeling inside. So how you could look at that is, say you have a rich person and they have all, say just for instance, they have all the money in the world. But if they are constantly thinking negative thoughts about maybe their situation or the people around them, and they're extremely unhappy, well, then clearly they're not going to be living a very happy, fruitful life. And likewise, say you have someone that's poor and they just keep dwelling on the fact that they don't have a lot of money. And yet they, in both instances, they forget or don't really know how to focus on the positive aspects of their lives, because both of them really could be in beautiful situations. Like, just because you don't have enough money or a lot of money doesn't mean your life is unhappy. Just the opposite, honestly. And likewise, just because you are rich or have a lot of money doesn't mean you're necessarily happy. So it seriously is what around us is, or excuse me, our thoughts will dictate what we think of our situations around us. So something to be extremely mindful of. If we can't if we can't focus on the positives, it doesn't matter what we have around us. Our lives are going to be unhappy no matter what's going on. And that's definitely something to be mindful of, because we can always change our minds. We can always begin to focus on the positive. We can always begin to focus on the love. It doesn't matter what is going on around us. We can all change those thoughts. Okay, so something to be aware of. And hopefully you guys are understanding the law of correspondence a little bit more. Basically, just everything around you is a mirror of what is in your mind, of what you're focusing on. So focus positively as best you can. We're all human. Do the best you can. Try to focus on the love and try to make the things around you a little bit more positive by simply thinking in a positive way. So, and we'll get into the action in a little bit later, because action, you can't sit there and say, okay, no, everything around me is beautiful, but then treat it negatively, because you're completely out of alignment if you're going to do that. You can't say, I love my dog, but then beat it. That just doesn't. There's no alignment there. Your actions and your thoughts are misaligned. So think the thoughts and then act in that manner, and you will begin to see a difference. All right. Let's see. 4, the law of attraction. We went over this last week, so I won't beat this one, but it's just exactly like what I just said. We must think accordingly to, and I'll give you the definition that they have here. The law of attraction tells us that like attracts like. Oh yeah, I did read this last week. So you have to vibrate on the level in which you are looking to attain something for. So if I know we used the Flyers tickets last week, but if you want more love in your life, then you have to be loving and you have to act in that manner. And just like what we said, you cannot say you want more love, but then go and treat somebody negatively. You cannot say that you want people to stop talking about you and then go talk about them as a result, because oh my gosh, and they beat me over the head, Anubis and Enoch and Jesus. Every time they come down all the time and they're like, Christopher, all these judgments that are cast upon you, like from my family, some family members, you cannot judge them for that, because you are equally as wrong. I am equally as wrong for judging them, for judging me. So I am really learning that lesson right now. I'm really, really learning it. And man, it's so cool how they are talking to me right now to get me to learn that lesson. But listen, divine timing is everything, okay? So as long as you continuously try to improve yourself, right? As these layers are shed, these messages, these understandings are going to be shown to you in divine timing. So please don't expect to, like, tomorrow, you're going to be walking around like Jesus. Hey, if you can, great. I'm just saying, don't expect it. It takes time. It's a lot of freaking work, and it's a lot of these layers being shed and being released and shown to you, and then you handling them in a more productive, a more positive way, in a way that's not going to affect you like it used to. So like, these judgments aren't going to make you angry anymore, because you're equipped better. Okay. And once you're equipped better through meditation, through mindfulness practice, and then making the choice to rise above, you can make choices that are filled with light and love, rather than acting out of anger and emotion that is at that present moment. Mindfulness and meditation help you with that. And then the choice. All right. So, number 5, the law of inspired action. So this one is it goes with the law of attraction. And now that I look at it, it actually says the law of attraction and this law go hand in hand, which is absolutely right. You have to act. You have to act according to what you're thinking or what you want, if you want it to happen. Your actions and your thoughts have got to be equally vibrating on the same level. Okay? Or all this goes out the window. Okay? If you're not acting in accordance with your thoughts, then yeah, kiss it all goodbye, because it really isn't going to be, you're going to be confusing the heck out of this world. You're going to be getting so many crazy messages. So yeah, okay. If you want love, be more loving. If you want respect, be more respectful. Okay? You guys get the idea. So number 4 was law of attraction. Number 5, law of inspired action. Number 6, law. We're actually going through these a little bit quicker, which I am being somewhat quick because there are 12, but they're so important too. So I also want to make sure that you guys are understanding these laws. Now, one thing that I will tell you is that many of these laws can be changed. So like, say for instance, the law of attraction and the law of inspired action. Okay, those two. If you want to be a negative person, you're certainly entitled to that. Obviously, I don't recommend it, but you are certainly entitled to that. As a human being, you have free will. Well, if you think negative thoughts and you act in a negative manner, well, then you're going to get a boatload of negativity that's thrown back at you. So just to give you a heads up, people, and I know most of you understand that concept, but believe it or not, there are a lot of people that don't. And I'll give you for instance, there are people that will come to you and they say, "Oh, I love you so much. Like, I really care about you." And yet they will bash everything that you do. They will put it down. They will discourage you from doing it. And that right there is misalignment. And like, somebody they might truly believe in their heart of hearts that they love you. They really do. Like, I mean, they are like, "Oh my God, I just love you so much." And yet you turn around and they're like, but he's a medium and he does this and he does that. And he's a little too forthcoming with his thoughts. That right there is misalignment. Okay. So you're definitely giving the universe some miscommunications there and confusing the heck out of it. And as a result, you're going to get confusion. You're going to get those mirrored back to you. So it'll come. All right. The law of perpetual transmutation of energy. The law, number 6, law of perpetual transmutation of energy, which is basically saying that, just like what I was saying there, where if you're negative and you act negatively, you're going to get negative. And if you're positive and you put positive things out there, then you're going to get positivity back. However, this is energy, ladies and gentlemen. This one is huge. I love this law. What this is telling you is that energy can change. If it is negative, you can change that energy to positivity through those other laws. So it is a choice. Now, I'm coming at this from a conscious level, where meaning if I'm making the choice to be negative, then yeah, obviously I can make the choice to be positive. But transmutation of energy is so much more than that. Now, this law is so powerful. And this is where your intent is extremely important. So you can use this law, and trust me, I do a lot. So if I'll tell you where I use this law. This law, say you're dealing with a house that's haunted. Now, for those of you that don't know, I help people whose houses are haunted with the spirit that either it's unwanted or wanted. It doesn't matter, but it's trapped, right? I can help those people, that spirit, cross over. Now, in some instances, this spirit that's trapped is extremely negative, extremely low vibrational. And this is where I use this law in such a beautiful way, because it is my intent to transmute this energy into loving, light, peaceful energy. And you can do that through this law. And that's why I use these laws, because I practice them and I've seen them work. So I don't come to you like completely ignorant to the capabilities of these laws. I come to you directly using them and watching them in action. So you can change energy, ladies and gentlemen. You go into a building, right? And you feel like, man, the energy in here is just, man, it's not good. Okay. Now, I'm not saying it's easy work, but it's possible. So you walk into a room and you're like, there's something not right here. Okay. If you were in tune enough, you can bring forth methods that can change that energy. And it takes time and it takes commitment, but you can change it. You can change that energy from something that is peaceful. From something that is heavy and negative into something that's peaceful and loving. Now, I'll tell you this. I had a woman come to me before through a friend. Her house was haunted with a ghost that was extremely aggressive. And she calls me up. She says, Chris, I have a friend. She tells me the story. Do you think you can help her? The spirit is extremely aggressive, like scratching them. It's like poltergeist activity where it's moving things around. It is, it's just really aggressive. There are some instances where they actually lost time in their house. Like they didn't even know how much time went, how much time had passed over a certain period. And so, yeah, there was a lot of stuff happening. It was real negative. So, yeah, absolutely. I can help you. I'm gonna do my work. So I went that night and I did my work. I text my friend, hey, please tell your friend that I've completed my work. And now when I'm doing my work, I am communicating with the other side. And they are telling me, they are relaying messages back. Keep going, Chris. Keep doing your work. We're there as well. We're working. We'll relay back to you when we're done, when you're done, or when you can stop. And what I'm doing right there is using this law, and this law is at play here. So I text my friend. I say, hey, I've done my work. I've gotten confirmation back from my guides indicating that our work is done and that this energy has been transmuted into loving light energy. No kidding. My friend told me the next day that she never told her friend that I did that work. And when they ran into each other again, my friend asked the girl, hey, how was your night last night at the apartment? And she said, "Oh my gosh, it's so crazy that you said that because I literally like it was the most peaceful, calming, loving energy we have ever felt in this apartment." And they've only been there for 3 months at this time, and it was the only night they never had anything happen, and it was the night that I did the work. And she goes, "Yeah, it was even my friend that doesn't even believe in this energy and this ghost literally said like, wow, it is so calming in here tonight. They even the lights in the house were brighter." And I will tell you this, when I was done my work, the spirit that needed help literally came through and was like and said to me, "Thank you so much," as it was crossing over, because we found out that it was a trapped spirit that I don't know why it was doing what it was doing, but we helped it and we got it to cross over, and the house was never had another incident. And I tell you this story only because it is this law that I use to do that kind of work. It is this transmutation of energy. So the changing of energy is possible. You can't create it, you can't destroy it, but you can change it. And this law is the one that dictates that. It's a beautiful law. I encourage you to learn more about these laws. They are awesome. Really, really cool. Okay, number 7. And hopefully you guys get that. Energy can't be created, can't be destroyed, but it can be changed. That is the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. So awesome. So awesome. All right, number 7. The law of cause and effect. This is pretty obvious. All actions have a corresponding reaction. So if yeah, I mean, really, do I have to get into this one? Law of cause and effect. If I if I tell you you're beautiful, that has an effect, right? Whether it's raising your vibration or lowering your vibration. You know what it has. There is a direct effect from something that we do in everything that we do. So if we approach a situation with negativity, well, then we're going to get that. Or if we cause negativity, then it'll have a negative effect on someone. Now, likewise, I mean, you could go into a situation like I just brought up, where you go, "Oh my gosh, you look so lovely today." Well, some people unfortunately might find that even though you mean it with loving intent and you mean no disrespect, like someone might interpret that negatively. But you know what? You can't. You go out there and you be the loving person that you are. And if somebody wants to take silliness and wants to take a compliment that you give in a very tactful way, like, "Oh, you look lovely today," like if somebody wants to take that and make it negative, well, that's on them. And I'll tell you this, you cannot go out there in this world today and not be loving just because somebody might be offended by it. Like, if you are a loving person and you really want to make someone smile, then go do your thing. Because 99% of the people are going to really appreciate that. And you can't let that 1% stop you. So go out there and be the loving person that you are. And you know what? The people that want to take that offensively, well, you know what? Let them. That's their prerogative. And they are okay to do that. But don't let that stop you. So you go out there and live your life as beautiful as you may like to. And I hope you do. Because we can't continue to play. We're not victims, ladies and gentlemen. I don't care what situation we're in. We are not victims. Our lives are affected by so many different things, whether it be our past life, whether it be things that we've done in this life. And I get it. You may think that, "Oh, well, I didn't do anything in this life to deserve something." Okay, that might be right, but you might have in something in another lifetime, and you have got to accept full responsibility for things that happen in our lifetime. Like we have all had things that are not pleasant happen to us. Like all of us. There's no one that hasn't. But you cannot sit here and play that victim card. It can't. You got to stop that right now. We're not victims. Okay? Learn the lesson of what you're supposed to learn. whether it be forgiveness, whether it be how to treat somebody better because maybe you were the perpetuator of the negative situation. Okay, learn from that. So what can I do better next time? How can I treat somebody better next time? And if you were the quote unquote victim, well, okay, what can I do? What did I do in that situation that could be different, right? Like ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna be honest with you right now. All right, when I was a teenager, I used to date a girl who used to beat me up. No, and now when I say beat me up, I mean like obviously I could take her, but I would never hit a girl, and she used that against me. She knew that, and she would take advantage of me. Now I can sit here and say like, she was so wrong and she was this and that, but I'm part to blame there. Like I allowed that to happen. I allowed her to take advantage of me. I didn't leave. I didn't leave the situation. I stayed right there and I was like, you know what? Do it. You know? So what could we do differently? Learn the lesson. Don't play the victim card. Learn the lesson and move on. All right? Get out of the situation if you can. And I don't mean to to you guys get what I'm saying, right? I mean, obviously, if you're in a situation that you feel like you're trapped in, I apologize, but find a way out. Go fight for yourself. Fight because, yeah, anyway. So, that was the law of cause and effect. Okay. The next law, this is another beautiful one. And again, these laws, oh my gosh, they're just so amazing. And when you really put them into action, you will begin to learn so much more about how energy works. Because these things, like I said, I've seen them. I've seen them work firsthand. I work with them. So number 8 is the law of compensation. So everything that you put in, you're going to get out. This is kind of like the law of attraction too. So I'll give you a for instance. I keep telling you guys I want to quit my job and I want to make this my full-time job. Well, next month I'm going to, and this is where the law of compensation is going to come into play right here. So the universe has been telling me now for a little while, okay, you're going in that direction, Chris. You're going in that direction. Keep going, keep going. I've been working on this for years. This isn't anything new. So I've been staying with my computer jobs and I've been doing them. But on the side, I'm doing I'm doing all this other work for people and I'm helping a lot of people and I'm trying hard to be the best version of who I am as best I can. Right. And they keep telling me, keep going, Chris, keep going. You're not quite there yet. You keep going, keep going, keep going. And then boom, just this month, I think it was, they went, all right, now it's time. You did it. Now is your time to fly. Now you can quit your job. We are ready for you to go. Quit your job and go forth. Now, I keep a journal of everything that goes on in my life as far as like this spiritual work goes. And I write down my goals, my aspirations. I write down things that happen to me. And for years I've been writing, I want this to be my job. And now they're telling me it can. And this is where the law of compensation comes because obviously I have a home life that I need to maintain. Not maintain for like because I want the neighbors to be happy about me because I don't freaking care about that. But my kids are happy where they live. They like their school. And I want to make sure that my kids can stay there, right? So they actually just switched schools this year. And I don't want them to have to switch again. And they keep telling me, they're like, yep, you put in the work. You did what you had to do. Now, and we're talking 6 years, if not over 6 years now. Been doing work like this in the spiritual aspect of things in one way, shape, or form. And this law of compensation, they're saying, nah, Chris, you're not going to lose the house. You're not going to have to downgrade. Everything's going to work out for you. And it's through this law of compensation because it's how much that I've given out Not for free. I'm not saying it's free, but it's how much love I put around everywhere. Like I go to the stores, you go to the store, you're respectful to people, you treat them kindly. Even if something negative happens, you're still respectful to them, you're understanding, you treat them with respect, and then everything else that you do in this spiritual work, it will all come back to you, but you have to work for it. It's just like those other laws. You have to the law of attraction. You think the positive thought, then the law of, oh my gosh, I'm having a brain freeze, but, the law of action. You think it, then you do it, and you keep doing that, and it's going to come back around. All right. So that's what the law of compensation. You are going to get back what you put in. So if you're given a lot, obviously take care of yourself. But if you're given a lot, it's going to come back to you. Just keep working. All right. Don't worry. Don't fret. Don't live in fear. Know in your heart that the world, the universe is listening and is going to come back to help you. Just know this. All right. So that was the law of compensation, number 8. Number 9 is the law of relativity. So everything is relative. So, and we've discussed this before. Everything in your life, I don't care what it is. You could be sick. We talked about this with my cousin when she was unfortunately passing away of cancer. I was saying that I'm working on a computer and my cousin is fighting for her life. And I'm sitting here getting frustrated at a computer and my cousin's fighting for her life. That's the law of relativity. So, and when you really think about this law, someone always has it worse or someone might have it better. But it is how you look at it that is so important. So this goes back to that, the law of correspondence. If you're going to sit there and dwell on the negative, then that's what you're going to get. But if you can focus on that positive and like everything's relative, so you can be the poorest person on this planet, but if you can look at the fact that you're free and that you can do whatever you want at any time you want, these are aspects that you can focus on and actually live a happy life with very little money. Hey, I can start to grow a garden, out in the middle of nowhere and just live my life. I can pick up and walk to the next state and, visit. There are so many different aspects, different things that you can focus on and put into a different perspective. It's all about perspective, It's all about perspective. And that's the law of relativity. What is this in relationship to your thoughts, So what do you want to make it? If I want to make it, oh my God, I am the poorest person on this planet and my life stinks. Well, then, yeah, in that perspective, it is going to. But there are aspects that don't necessarily have to, too. And if you start to use some of these other laws, things can change for the greater. And I encourage you to start implementing these laws into your life. Because once you do, you're going to see a shift like you've never seen before. It's absolutely amazingly beautiful. Keep focusing on the love. Keep focusing on the positive, and all of it will come back to you. Because our lives are all relative to the glasses that we wear for ourselves. So try to take your own glasses off for a second and look at the bigger picture. And look at your life in relationship to not even to somebody else, because you don't want to sit there and compare yourself. Like, that's not what this is about. But look at it from a perspective that is greater from just right there. rise above the situation and think about, okay, what am I learning? What am I doing? What can I do better? And then go freaking do it. All right? It's like work, positive mind, and good and working towards that and helping others, being of service. Man, like these are all the answers right here. Like this is life. And these laws are helping us realize that. And they're just absolutely beautiful. All right. So here's number 10. The law of polarity, which is everything has an equal opposite. So you have, let's just say, God above, and then you have that thing down there. All right. That's the law of polarity. There is an equal opposite. And this is definitely one to understand. But also when you're looking at this, right? So, okay, we have extremes, right? We have God, and then we have the guy down there, or the thing down there, whatever you want to call him. But we are all one. So that's not something that you can forget. Okay? There might be opposites, but we also have extremes within us. And that's what we have to realize. Like, you cannot take these laws individually and think that you can only work with that one law. They are all at play here, and you have to work with them all to really understand here. So, like, this is something else that so many people come to me, Chris, I don't want to open up because I fear of the thing down there, or I fear this negativity. You cannot fear. You are part of that fear, meaning you are part of that thing down there, just like you are part of him. That thing down there has God in him. Believe it or not, Satan comes from fallen angels who were made from God. Now, look, I'm not here to preach to you guys. I'm not no Bible thumper. But I'm just stating, right? This is even the book of Enoch, which isn't the Bible, states that, down there comes from up there. So that is so important to understand. You cannot fear it. You don't judge it. You don't hate it. You love. Love is the answer, because love is the only thing that gets rid of the darkness. So anyway, that might be a little bit off topic of the law of polarity, but just remember, there is an equal and opposite to every piece, every energy. All right. So to love it, there is also to hate. So that's there. And that's number 10, the law of polarity. Now, here is another one. The law of rhythm, or perpetual motion. Everything is moving. We've discussed that on another one. But this one is more like to every night, every day you have the sun rises, the sun sets, that's like a rhythm. Okay. You have seasons that come. Everything's a rhythm. As you get older, your body, it starts to deteriorate a little bit more. That's a rhythm. Your energy. So your body is going through that law of rhythm. But what we can begin to learn from the law of rhythm is that things change. All right? You are capable of change. And that's what this law of rhythm is teaching us. Is that today you might think positively or you might think negatively. But tomorrow you can change that by choice, by free will, by putting forth the effort and the desire, the intent, the thought, and then the effort to change that. It's all about what you want. What is your intent and what are you working on? So don't ever think that just because today you have all the money in the world, that tomorrow that can't all be taken away from you. Because the law of rhythm states just the opposite. It can all change. So You live in the moment. You appreciate what you have at this very moment. You keep pushing forth as best you can in a loving manner, and you have nothing to worry about. Because if you're living in the moment and you appreciate everything that you have at that moment, then how can you ever be without? You know what I mean? These laws of energy begin to open up your awareness and your understanding of really what you are so capable of. And when you focus on this moment and even the little bit that you have, and you will appreciate that, well, then you're talking to the universe, and the universe is going to give you more of it, because the universe wants to help you. The universe is on our side. Absolutely. So be aware of this, okay? The universe is going to show you when you're misaligned. Just like me. Like right now, I'm not in complete alignment because they're telling me I can leave my job and I haven't left yet. So I'm not directly in line. Now it's coming very soon, couple weeks, but I haven't done it yet. And I can feel that. Like the universe is really telling me a lot right now. Like, yo, dude, you better start moving. Because I really have to. And that's when there's, the law of rhythm is coming into play here. Everything changes, Chris. Let me see. Back in 2008, I went to college for computers because I loved them so much. I just loved computers. I love working with them. And then this year, boom, I can't take it anymore. Now I'm like, no, I am not in alignment. I don't feel that desire anymore because this is where I want to be. This is what I am meant to do. I'm meant to help people on this level, not through computers. And I'm understanding that now. So that's number 11, the law of rhythm. And number 12 for the grand finale, the law of gender. There is a male or a feminine and a male aspect to everything. So energy. Us humans, have a male and female aspect to our energy. And that's something to really, when you begin to understand that a little bit more, you can bring out those energies kind of when you feel the need to, like, and I don't want to get into like stereotypes or stuff like that, but the law of gender states that all energy has a feminine and male aspect to it all. So just be aware of that. Like the yin and yang, kind of like that opposites too. I'm sorry, not the opposites. This is opposites. But the yin and yang. There are aspects to energy that are different. So, or I'm sorry, the law of equal opposites. It's kind of like that, but more, well, you have male and females in the world, obviously, and we're all energy. So I always get a little bit confused on this one on how to explain it, but I guess it's self-explanatory, right? I mean, there's a male and female aspect to us all. So with that, I'm sorry. I really tried to kind of run through this pretty quickly, and I think I've done an okay job. I would like your feedback, though, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to end with music today. I am going to channel for you in a second, but give me your feedback. Are the podcasts too long? Are they too short? Let me know, because I want to get to you guys. For everyone that has reached out to me, I really appreciate that. Teresa, you know who you are. Appreciate you. Jackie, you know who you are. Appreciate you. And everyone else that has. I am so grateful for it. Natalie, I know you did once. I appreciate you. There was a gentleman online. I forget his name at the moment. Please forgive me, but I appreciate you all. So reach out to me. Let me know your thoughts on the time frame. And if I should shorten it, lengthen it, whatever. Or if it's a good time, I would love to hear that from you guys. And with that, I am going to take a moment. I'm going to channel for you all. And thank you so much. I love this topic so much. It's seriously my favorite one. I encourage you to start incorporating these laws of energy into your daily thought process, because the more and more you begin to work with them, the more you will understand them and the more you will see them at play on a regular basis. And you will see how powerful they truly are, because this energy is something that we can work with. Obviously, we do on a daily basis. And with that, Enoch speaking, my children. Grateful we are once again for this session, for it has been some time that we have truly spent this amount of time with you. We are grateful for Christopher's channeling podcast, for it is a direct representation of our communication to you through him. For we have communicated very much in this podcast through him already. But we are here to inform you of the true importance of the understanding of these laws of universal energy, for it is how we interact with you on a regular basis. They, us, being the universe, being universal energy, being God. It is through the energy that we are able to read your well-being, your thoughts, your belief systems. It is through your actions as well. These are extremely important aspects of who you are, for the energy that you carry is representative and visible on another level, beyond what the physical eye can see. It is through this energetic vibration that you hold within your heart chakra and human body that the souls, spirits on the other side can work with you, see you, feel you, and understand the energy that you are carrying with you, both on an emotional and physical level. It is through this energy that we come to you with aspirations of guidance to help you in the manner in which you are currently being called forth via your energetic vibration that you are vibrating on. These energetic vibrations are extremely important to us, as it is the method of communication that we are using primarily to view your soul's level of growth. For if you continue to vibrate on a lower vibrational frequency, it is difficult for us to come forth on a level that is easy for you to understand. It is when you begin to rise in your vibration that you will begin to feel the subtleties, notice the shifts in energy and subtle messages that we bring forth to you on a frequent basis. It is when you are in a lower vibrational state, mindset, that the messages from beyond are more difficult to understand, conceive, and read. It is through the raising of your vibration and the actions that you carry forth through these vibrations that loving energy can begin to manifest even more so within you, and thus carry our messages to you so that you may feel the guidance that we are coming forth through. For we love you all so very much and are always grateful for these sessions. I encourage you now to go forth in peace and love, as we have communicated through Christopher very much so during this podcast, and encourage you all to understand that it is through the love that we can communicate with you more easily. It is through the density of your mind that can stifle the communication that we carry forth to you on a daily basis. The more you rise, the easier the vibration it is for us to communicate with you. This is a message that we are attempting to get across to you this evening. It is through the raising of vibrations that communication happens more. And with that, we are grateful for this session. We love you very much. Enjoy your evening, and thank you so much. Thank you, Enoch. I appreciate that, always. All right, and I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. So I'm really let's go. I'll leave us with some I'll leave us with some music real quick, but hey, always love you all so much. Please go to my website open2energy.com. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know about the time frame. Let me know if you have a topic. I know we need to talk about karma. Teresa, that one's for you. Let's get karma out there. I'll try, maybe I'll make that one my next week. But this one, so important. These laws of energy are so important, and they are what guide me every single day. If you start to incorporate them in your daily lives, I promise you, things are going to start to change. All right? Break these cycles. Understand what we put out, and even the slightest bit is communication to the universe saying that we want that to come back. Realize how important that is, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? That's nothing. That is not small. I will see you all soon. I love you all so much, and thank you all as always. Enjoy.